Bethesda for Persons with Disabilities presents a Roman Catholic Lenten Mission at Sea. It's happening on the Harbour Master this coming weekend, and this morning I have with me the chairman of Bethesda for Persons with Disabilities, Mr. Neil Parsonlal, and fresh off the Dimanche Grass stage, Father Robert Christo. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
And welcome to the Now Morning Show. How are we doing this morning?
We're good. How are you doing?
I'm grateful to be alive, grateful to be in the presence of great men.
Amen.
So we're talking this morning about this mission at sea. Let me start with you, Mr. Parsonal. Tell me about Bethesda for Persons with Disabilities.
Bethesda for Persons with Disabilities is a non-governmental registered non-governmental organization born in the Catholic Church and ready for persons who have children with disabilities. We know that there are persons with children with disabilities who come to Mass, for instance, and that's where it began. And you see and you hear them running around the church, right, much to the annoyance of some people. And what we started to do with Bethesda is really to look at that and to create more sensory perceptive, more sensory friendly spaces for children, to be able to participate in the liturgy, to be able to participate in the sacraments. And our ultimate aim is to create or to construct what we call a respite center, where persons who have children with disabilities, because children with disabilities become adults with disabilities. Yeah. So what we want to do is to create a compound, a space where persons can come, leave their children with disabilities, and go about their normal business, and come back and pick them up at the end of the day or at the end of the weekend. And that kind of facility. Because what we've also found, and the literature is there, is that the caregivers end up being the ones most in need of care after a while, because it is tiring, it is frustrating, it is, and with all the goodwill in the world, the love that you have as a parent for your child, for your person with disability, it takes its toll on you
need
as
help
well.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. So we really want to create that space. So that is what this praise cruise is about. It's about helping us to raise funds. It's the second time we're doing it. And we're thankful for persons like Father Christo, and Father Cornelius and the whole Point 14 Music Ministry, who have helped us along this journey to help raise funds so that we can gradually do more and more and more for persons with disabilities.
In terms of the creation of these spaces that you said are curated, the sensory spaces, is that something that you're applying to churches?
Well, as I said, it's born out of the Catholic Church. So at the moment, we have a number of places where we actually celebrate Mass for persons with disabilities. It's a sensory-friendly space for Mass. Mass is 35 minutes max. We invite the priest, the good priest, to preach only for 7 minutes.
Not me only. Very hard for this one.
Which is a challenge. For most. Yeah. But it's a space where, so we have Mass on the second Sunday of the month in Aruca. On the third Sunday we're in Couva. On the fourth Sunday we're in Belmont. So the idea is that we have these masses spread around the country, so that persons with disabilities can bring their people to these masses and partake in the sacraments, because we've had people who have made First Communion, we've had people who have made the confirmation, and it's creating a different curriculum, a different space for them. So it's not the 1 year program that we'd have normally for confirmation candidates, for instance. It's a different setting entirely.
But the same knowledge transfer.
It's the same knowledge transfer.
Yeah. Now, Father Christo, tell me how important is this mission to you?
It's very important. It's scripturally based. So I want to go back long ago, especially in the year of Jubilee years, is a time for a pilgrimage for hope and inclusivity and healing. And that's what the pool was for. In John chapter 1, verse 1 to 15, I think, the pool was there healing, and those people were challenged and disabled, were not able to get into it. So people were going to be healed, and they were just pulling their bodies in. So that's where it's a kind of inclusivity, a healing, a movement for radical immersion in the power of the church. Because Bethesda, is it? Bethesda. Oh gosh, you're tired about the tongue this early morning. How about original way I say it? But the word is house of grace and house of mercy. And who is not in need of grace and mercy? So the power of inclusivity is scripturally based. And I have been a part of that ministry. It's frightening because the kids want to enter into the sacramental power of the church, but then they're running around and walking around, and there's a challenge with them. We too have challenges, because some of us don't even go to church, fam, or enter church. And that inclusivity and that grace and healing is what we try to mirror now, making a link with Leviticus, which is the Jubilee year, and the boat that Jesus was in, and the pool. And that's why we went into the cruise. It's a template where we're going to extend to people out there who are unchurched, who need to hear something for Lent and contribute to the poor.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, right, in terms of, you mentioned the pool, you mentioned the healing that takes place, and then we're dealing with persons with disabilities. Do you have a challenge where maybe the caregivers, maybe the parents come looking for that level of healing to say, well, I don't want my child to have a disability anymore. Can you pray this away? Can we have a miracle happen?
That is exactly what it is. The ones who bring them, they want to participate, the ones who help are being ministered to.
Yeah.
And they do come for healing. They come for, I will say that God's will be done. We don't know why God permits this, but he must have had a reason. He's God. And maybe the prayer is not to change the situation as much as to see the value of it and or change the view of it. Sometimes God says yes, but he says, can you journey with this? This is what's going to take me into paradise. If I did not do it to you, you may have lost me. I do not know the creativity of God.
I remember somebody told me once that, when you pray for patience, God gives you tests to be able to build your patience.
And sometimes the miracle is not in the physical healing, but the miracle is in coming to accept that this child that God has gifted you with is still the beloved of God. That this child that God has blessed you with, your family with, is still loved tremendously by God, as you are also loved by God. And sometimes just coming to that acceptance that I am the beloved of God is a miracle in itself.
And that's exactly what we did at Carnival. Anything that has life is redeemable, right? And the image is that you've got to bless to increase good and diminish evil, and whatever that is. God blesses me. I have so much evil in my past, and you and I know, and that's the reason why the invocation of the Spirit, because God is a God of hope and grace and mercy.
So just to be clear, right, when we go on the Harbour Master, there's no attempt to enter any waters physically for anybody, right?
No.
All right.
Spiritual waters, yes.
Spiritual waters is all we're going for. But we are going on the Harbour Master.
We are going on the Harbour Master.
And it's happening this coming weekend, this Saturday.
This coming Saturday. Boarding starts at 9. The cruise...
9 a.m., just to make sure. But when you say Harbour Master, they often think 9 p.m.
No.
9 a.m., right?
9 a.m., boarding starts at 9 a.m. We sail at 10 o'clock, and it's 10 until 2.
Okay.
We're actually having Mass on the sea. So we will have Holy Mass on the sea. It's part of the whole Lenten mission, that whole idea of bringing people back, especially in this Jubilee year. And we talk about being pilgrims of hope. Pilgrims travel. Yeah. So we are traveling on the sea, and we are inviting as many people as possible to come. You can get tickets from us. We have numbers up. You can get tickets. You can come on the day itself, on Saturday, and you can get you can get tickets there as well.
And tickets are how much?
Tickets are a minimum contribution of $250. If persons like yourself could offer more than that, $250.
And or donate. People like him could donate and come.
Yeah.
I find they keep referring to people like me.
Of course, persons like yourself.
There's nobody else like me. I'm a one. I am one of one.
Professionals like yourself, can
well paid.
Can donate.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you said I'm saying that, talking to the right person.
I know the CEO is listening on.
I'm sitting here in my capacity as the chairman of Bethesda for persons with disabilities.
But seriously, a lot of people are donating.
Yes,
and
how can, I know we had an account number, I believe, for persons who want to donate.
We do have an account number, and we invite persons, to make their donations. If anybody wants to donate land for us, if anybody wants to donate a house for us, we're quite willing as well to accept that, because that will give us a start we need to actually put a physical structure down.
It is not only coming on a boat; it is an investment in ministry, and the church is not a museum. It's a hospital, and some people need a boat to come to church. So there's one opportunity. It's aligned with a divine purpose, and it's catechetical, because we're going to be teaching you about everything and mercy and grace on the day.
Most definitely. And you're going to be there. We have Father Cornelius Phillip, and we have the Point Fortin Music Ministry.
Yes.
They're all going to be on the boat and having a grand time on Saturday, 22nd March, boarding at 9 a.m., sailing from 10 a.m. on the Harbour Master. We're talking about the Bethesda for persons with disabilities. Roman Catholic Lenten Mission at Sea. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning.